So who's excited? Let me ask you guys a quick question in the chat. What brought you to this training today? A lot of you guys are signed up for the workshop next week, but what are you here to ultimately understand or learn or implement? FOMO, okay, that's the truth. I appreciate you sharing the truth. I do hype things up. When I get excited about something, I want to make you guys just as excited. And I'll tell you right now, I've been in this business full time now since 2019. So we're going on like 6 years. And it sounds like a lot, but like I feel like I'm just getting started. But if you guys don't know me, one of the things I'm always trying to do is go first. I want to test a bunch of things. I want to go ahead. And you see me doing these things in my marketing, in my community, and then some of you guys model it. And I say, hold off, don't model it yet. I'm literally testing this stuff. And when I find out like what works and what doesn't, I do trainings like this, and we go even more in depth into live events like what we're doing next week. Now, we haven't done one in 7 months, so this is my first time doing a multiple day workshop. And I used to do them every single month, so I miss it. And I'll share why I'm doing this one live this time around for you guys. Okay, so without further ado, welcome everybody. If you guys don't know me, my name is Doug Boughton, founder of Full Time Freedom. Today's training is content that converts. I've been calling a few different names, but ultimately it's the content that converts system. I want to show you what that means. We're going to go over 3 new frameworks I've been testing for the last 7 months. And now you don't have to second guess what you've been seeing me doing on marketing, on social media, my community. I'm just going to give it to you today because these are proven and tested and these are ready to be implemented. Some of you guys have already started going through some of our content to implement these. But really, what we're going to talk about today is the one simple marketing campaign that does the selling for you. Does that sound good for you guys? Some of you guys have gone through like what we're doing and you have seen how it's been effective, with yourself, right? Some of you guys have joined our community. You've enrolled into our workshops, our programs, literally some of you in one day. Shout out to Stephanie. She shared a really cool post. I asked if I could share publicly, and she's like, yeah, go for it. So thank you. I'm actually going to pull it up on the screen today because that's what it's about. It's not about doing more, because if you feel like anything like I feel in the beginning of my journey, or I've felt, sometimes I still feel this way, but this framework is going to help you understand like what to actually focus on, what to prioritize. And I know what it could be like to listen to so many people out there sharing their strategies, and good marketers are good at getting you to pay attention, and it's like all contradictory. And just know that like my hope is to give you what I believe to be like in your best interest to have a life. Like that's it. Have a life called, full-time freedom, doing the things you love with the people you love, doing them with most. And sometimes even when you're doing this part-time, there's not much time left, right? And then when you are full-time in this, sometimes we fall into the trap of becoming an employee to our own business. And we prioritize the business over the things that we know we eventually want to do. And it's a scary thing, right? It's like chasing that next thing, and you don't know when that day will come where you actually get to enjoy what you've been building. So today, I know that this is going to be the first step for many of you to actually start really thinking about what you're doing, doubling down on what's working, and really create this one simple marketing campaign that does the selling for you. Okay. All right, so we have a pinned post in the chat. If you guys are just joining us, check the chat on Zoom. We're not going to use that as the actual chat. I want you guys to go to the pinned post in our community. And if you guys are watching the replay, treat this as it's live as well. Number one is because when you comment on here, who here is trying to grow their community, grow their audience, get more visibility, right? Raise your hands. Well, I could see Devin, I could see Richard, I could see Greg, and I could see Rachel, Julie, Saim, Sandra. What I like to do, and I'm sure other people in our community are like this, I'll click on your name and I'll see what social media platforms you're on if you have them linked. I'll follow you, I'll engage in your content. Sometimes if you have a really cool community that I'm interested in, I end up joining. I join a lot of communities, believe it or not. And that's what I think is going to happen for you too. So as we get more and more people watching this training, going through our community, seeing your name, they're going to likely click and see what you're up to. And the more valuable that you're putting in questions and comments that other people might be thinking, you're adding advice, that all adds to the conversation. So that's really the short, I guess, version of it. I could go more, but you guys get the gist. So what I want you to do in this pin post, especially if you're watching the replay, is right now, comment where you're watching from. We want to know where you're watching from, and then share your biggest takeaways, any moments that like make you think. I go very basic, back to the fundamentals, you guys, so it's not gonna be like earth shattering, but sometimes those basics are the clarity that you need to have those big epiphanies. And then share your wins, any wins that you guys are experiencing right now. What are you focused on? I want to get to know more about you and what you're building. Ask questions, and you can even give advice. There's a lot of great experts in here, and I know that will watch this replay. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is we're going to go way beyond just social media because you guys hear content that converts, right? And you're like, oh, content like Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube. But I want to show you today, we're going to go way beyond just social media content. In fact, even if you don't post to social media, this training is going to really help you because maybe you feel some of those things that have you overwhelmed about what to post, when to post, all those things. So why this is going to be so, I think, important for you guys moving forward is it's not about creating more content. This is really about creating one video that becomes all the content you need to attract, nurture, and enroll customers so you don't have to. And like I mentioned, there's a lot of you here in this room today that have decided to work with me that I have never really actually had a conversation with one to one. And I'm so excited where we're going to actually get the opportunity to do that next week, especially those of you guys in VIP for our next workshop. But for those of you guys who haven't seen it, I've been so loud about it. I don't know how you haven't seen it. But anyway, I want you to at least understand what this is and what's in it for you here. So the content that converts system, this is not about creating more content for social media. I think I've made that clear. You can ditch your fancy content calendars, no more batch creating, no more consistent content. And I'm going to say this isn't about like you don't I don't want to say don't post anymore because I still do. I think it's important, but you don't have to rely on it. In fact, 90% of the customers that we work with, they don't come from our social media content. And I'll show you today in our framework, our third framework, where they're coming from and how that actually helps them go from stranger to customer in usually a very quick time frame. And that's what I want for you. So what this is going to solve for you today is if it feels harder to attract the right audience and you're creating content that feels impossible to keep up with, or it takes longer for your audience to become customers, maybe it feels impossible to get people to engage, right? I know that's common for a lot of people, not just on social media content, but also in your communities. Enrolling people into your offer feels like convincing. Like, I don't want that for you because when you have to convince people to join your communities or follow you on social media or join the things that you're enrolling people into, you have to convince them to implement and then, of course, get the results. And we don't want to push people to or have to convince people to get results. We would just want them to naturally do those things. It makes our lives easier, especially for those of you who are really attached to the outcomes of your customers, like I am. Like, it's one of the things that literally keeps me up at night. So I'm always trying to figure out how can I attract the right people that I don't have to convince to want the goal they say they want more than, I want it for them. So I want you to want these things for yourself. And I know if you're in this room or watching this replay, most of you are exactly that. And we do that through some of the things we're going to be sharing today. So the content convert system, if it's not any of those things, what is it? So today's not about more tips. It's about a system that you can build one time and have it work for you. It's about building an evergreen ecosystem that attracts audiences that buy your offer. All right. By the way, who here has a community? Drop your community name. I know I ask this all the time if you guys have seen me live, but I'm always just so fascinated by who here has a community. Drop the name of your community in the pinned post. All right. And again, no links here, but if people like the name of their community, they can see what it's about. They'll probably click your name on the pinned post and end up seeing that you have a community. So I'm just kind of curious to see who has communities already. We're going to talk a little about that today too. But really, this is a new system that works for everyday entrepreneurs who want clarity, customers, and cash flow without burnout. Right? Does that sound about right? Who wants to be more clear? You want more customers, cash flow, and you don't want to feel burned out. Well, this is exactly what we're going to paint the picture of today for you. So my goal for you by the end of this training, I'm going to walk you through 3 frameworks that I've been testing for the last few months and how they can help you turn your content into clients without being chained to social media. And by the end, you'll have the clarity that you've been missing and a fun way to implement what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. And really, it's about transforming the way that you get clients because there's a lot of methods out there. People say, run ads, do content, DM people, cold email, cold message, get them to book a call, and all of that. And yes, that stuff works. But if you're anything like me, that is not the model that I started my business for. I didn't start my business to be a salesperson. Definitely didn't start my business to be a content creator. I started my business to help people achieve full-time freedom in their lives. And with this, I'm now able to do more of the things in my business, spend more time on exactly that. So it's interesting because my audience, anybody else hear this a lot? I'll work with you one day. I love your content. I'll work with you one day. And I still hear it now and then, but it's become more and more now that people go from stranger to client in one day. So my audience used to say, Doug, I'll work with you one day. And now they go from stranger to client in one day. And again, shout out to Stephanie for letting me share this. I don't know if you guys can read this. I'm going to read it to you. I just love the action that you've taken, Stephanie. And I see that you've come in and you're a testament, not just you, but there's so many others that maybe not express it this way, but I see it happening on a daily basis. So after 1 week of Stephanie being in the community, posted this and said, I've been in this community for 1 week. I'm on level 5 on the leaderboards in the top 10 for the week. I have not done anything extraordinary. I just have a desire and need to learn and get into action. I have joined 2 calls so far, purchased the Community Ascension program on day one because what do I have to lose other than $37? And before I even started that, I signed up for the 90-day accelerator also on day one because there's just something about Doug and Theo and Jeremy. He also sold me the system works. I was sold, by the way, there's nothing wrong with being sold. It just means the messaging was on point. Thank you for that. But yeah, and I appreciate you sharing that. You said you were gonna buy other programs that relied on closing clients with calls that just didn't feel genuine to you. And you see that community is the way. And that's what we believe in as well. So Stephanie, I know you're here. Thank you so much for just being an action taker. I see you doing the things you say, which are taking action, and we're just really excited to work with you. And yeah, I want to help others, receive that as well, where people don't say, I'll work with you one day, and they actually take one day to become a customer. And when you set up these 3 things in this order, you're going to start seeing this happen. Not everybody, but the right people, because we don't want everybody, right? Because you, I'm sure, are putting a lot of time and energy into your customers. And if some of you are spending, in some cases, more time with your customers than some of your relatives, then you got to like who you're working with. And that's what this is going to be helping you do. So number one, we're going to go over the content clarity method. This is how one simple message can outperform 100 content ideas. Number two, the Ascension Accelerator System. A lot of words here, I know, but basically it's about how to take somebody from one step to the next in an evergreen way. So how to multiply that one message we're going to cover into a full content machine without consistent creation, aka burnout. Number three, the content freedom funnel. This is the system that sells without sales calls, cold DMs, or showing up every single day. Not to say that you shouldn't show up for your business, but if you're putting more time into the things that you didn't start your business for, like cold messaging and DMs and content creation, then let's get you out of that and build a system that allows you to do what you'd start your business for, which is hopefully helping others. All right, so by the end of this training, you're gonna be clear on your mechanic message versus your movement message. And it's okay to do both, but we're gonna start focusing on the movement message. You're gonna know how to stand out by not sounding like everybody else. You're gonna see how to grow an audience that attracts the right people. You're gonna create a system that turns strangers into clients in way less time and feel certain that this is going to work for you. And then have a business that's aligned with the freedom that you desire most. And for me, that freedom is some of these images on the screen where these things would not be possible if it weren't for implementing the system. And I would even just rewind like a year or two ago where there's no way I would have been able to get married. And it was a goal. Like I was, dating Kelsey for a few years at that point. I wanted to get engaged. I wanted to have this wedding and, all these things that we're now getting to do. But I literally didn't think I could take time away from work to make that happen. That's a sad thought, right? And I know I'm not alone in that. There's a lot of people that put things off that are the most important things in life because we become an employee to the business. But after implementing and really getting solid on these things over the last 7 months, back in January, I took 2 weeks to go away with my brothers and some of my best friends from childhood to celebrate in Aruba. In February, I was away for over a week at a school event, plus another week at the ClickFunnels Funnel Hacking Live event. Got married in March. April, I spent some time, took a few days off. My mom was out here visiting. May, we did our fifth house build for the Florist de Vorantes family and many more of those come because that's what I love doing. And that's why I got into this business to do more of the things like this and then invite our community to join us in that. And it's not hopefully to brag because this wasn't always the case. Like rewind back to when I got started in 2019, I was waiting tables. I put in my notice on I quit my job November 30th. I put my notice in early that month, November 30th, 2018, but I was in no place to leave my job. I was negative in the bank, had a $97,000 student loan debt. And what I'm going to be sharing, what I have been sharing in our community, in our trainings, allowed me to really escape this and hit some major goals. It took me some time, but I wasn't going to stop until I hit all these goals. And once I achieved them, we now set the new aim, which is to actually, you guys have probably heard of our Mission 100, which is to build 100 homes for families in need 2 hours south of where I live here in San Diego. But I want to help you do the things that you love in your business, set big goals, and get out of the things that are preventing you from achieving them. Because when you start doing these things now, a lot of amazing things start to happen in your life. And the more you celebrate your wins, that's why I'm always asking you guys, share your wins in the community, share your wins in the community. Yes, I love seeing them. It motivates me, and I'm sure it motivates and inspires others. But what it really is for you to celebrate yourself on how far you've come. And then when you start doing this more consistently, you're going to see these wins showing up, things coming out of the woodwork, because that's just what happens. Your wins compound, and you're going to be well on your way when you start living it now. I'm sure some of you guys aren't really in the ClickFunnels world, but there's this award called Two Comma Club Award when you make $1 million online. And for many, it's like a big goal. Some say they want to start at $10,000 a month, but if you could do $10,000 a month, you could definitely get up to, what is it, $88,000 per month to start building a seven-figure business. And we've helped a lot of people do those things. And so if you guys are new here, you could even check out some of the things that are said about us. 483 reviews, two left bad reviews. It's okay. You can't make everybody happy. But for the most part, I thank all of you guys who give us positive ratings. And if it's not positive, you email me and let me know the feedback so I can make things better. But just know, like, everything I do is to really support our community members. And this is not typical, but the goal is to help you achieve your goals. So if you have big goals like Nikki and Adrian and Ruben and Cliff, they came to me and said, I want to build a seven-figure business. What does that look like? And I don't want to be doing all these things I'm currently doing. A lot of them came to me with the sales call model, big sales team, paying out big commissions. Some of them were brand new starting out, and we've been able to help them take them to these numbers that you see here on the screen. And you guys have probably seen my trains. There's a lot of proof here, but I hope you just trust what we're going to be sharing with you today and just take action and start implementing to see these results for yourself. And over time, you're going to start achieving your goals. And then you could stretch that goal and say, all right, I'm ready to start aiming for the next thing. Maybe it goes from $10,000 a month to $50,000 a month or beyond. Maybe it's $100,000 a month. And if you're here at square one, you're like, I don't have an audience, I don't have a clear plan, I don't even have an offer yet, just know that there's no problem here. The way I create my trains, especially my workshops, is that I could take people even at seven figures and get them clear on the path to scale to that next level of whatever they're trying to break through that plateau. And it also works for people completely at square one. And if that's the case with you, it's not your fault. Like, if you feel like I've tried so many things to have an offer, I've tried all these different programs, you just need the right map. And I do believe that what we have here for you today is that map. And the hardest thing is, a lot of people I find that are stuck are buying expensive things out there, and they're buying the wrong things because they're excited to get started, but you're buying like volume three when you're still at volume one. And it's hard to copy a guru out there. It's hard to copy their playbook when you're not even in the same league as them. I want to just help you get the blueprint that works for you. And that's what we're going to be sharing today. So this is part one, content clarity method. By the way, these are going to be very simply explained because I just want you to understand the concepts. And then at the end of this event, I want to show you what it looks like to implement them with my support, with some resources I've created for you, so we could do this together. And you'll do it in under 5 hours. So content clarity method, this is how one simple message can outperform 100 content ideas. All right, and this is pretty bare bones. I try to keep this very simple for you. The content clarity method is essentially this. It's the root of your marketing problem. It is, how do you communicate solving other people's problems and helping them get out of that messaging confusion. So you don't need 100 ideas. If you were taught you need 5 content pillars, 7 different prompts, and you spin that 150 different ways, that's what overwhelms people from what to say and how to say it. You just need one core message. And that message is going to be the seed for your entire business. And what I mean by that is by creating these frameworks we're going to go into next. So when your content doesn't convert, it's not about visibility. People are seeing your content, I'm sure. It's about clarity in the message and attracting the right people in. And I'm totally guilty of this. It's about being stuck in the mechanics and the strategy and tactics content, like the here's 3 tips on how to do whatever, 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 right? We see that, and maybe some of it's interesting, but for the most part, I bet you scroll right by that now. But when you see and hear a message from somebody that really moves you, you're like, wow, like that is what I want. It's the lifestyle, it's the behind the scenes, it's the transformation that they're achieving. And I want to help you take a stand against whatever it is out there that you see people in your industry stuck on and take a stand for something and live it and be it. And when you demonstrate that message, that's what works better than the mechanics. So next week in our training, we're going to go way deep on this. I want to help you understand the mechanic message and when to use it. But this is like the tactics, the transactional, the surface level focused content where it focuses on tools, tips, and how-tos. It talks at people instead of speaking to their beliefs and their pain and ultimately what they desire most. Where that's exactly what the movement message will do. It'll speak to them in a new way. It's rooted in truth. It's transformation. It's emotional resonance that gets your ideal customer to act. These are the things that most people are too scared to say, do, or be on social media. And when you do that, it's just going to land differently with the right people and it pulls them in. All right. So the second one is the Ascension Accelerator. So this is, like I said earlier, how to build a series of content, taking that one movement message and turning it into these pieces of content that are evergreen. So how to multiply that one message into a full content machine without burnout. And how this looks is you have that one message, like I said, the movement message, and it's going to become the attract content, the accelerate content piece, the activation content, the advertise content, and the ascension content. I'll give you guys examples of that here in a moment. But once you have these and you do the right things with these pieces of content, you don't have to keep creating over and over again. This is about creating one simple video, and I'll just tell you it's the activation piece, it's the activate content. You create that one piece of content and then you turn it into these other pieces. And it really takes people from the beginning of the customer journey all the way through to becoming a customer and beyond that, maybe someone who stays with you for the long haul. And you don't need more content, you just need content that compounds. So this isn't about creating daily content, it's about compounding content that converts. And these are the pieces we're going to go really in depth on in session 2 next week. The attract content is, yes, the content that grabs attention on social media. But when you pin it the right way, or maybe you nail it on the first go, and now maybe you've wanted to run ads for a long time, but you don't feel like you have the budget or the know-how, it could start with like $5 a day, and you just focus on that piece of content to bring people into your world. So that's the attract content, taking it from that movement message. And then the next piece of this is the acceleration content. This is the valuable problem solving content. You guys have seen this inside of our community creators club. It's the first module, right? So you go from social media. Sometimes you guys follow me in other communities or you find me in the discovery feature. That's really all the attract content. And then when you join the community, let me know in the comments, who here has gone through our Start Here module, the first one, the Idea to Income training. It's about an hour and a half training. Just comment me or finished in the pin chat. You guys understand using the pin chat, right, in the community? I think it's just Rachel, Julie, and Saeem. Let's get all of you guys there. Jared, can you drop that link one more time for everybody? There we go. I want you guys, because I'm not gonna be able to see your comments on the Zoom room. I want to make sure I'm watching your comments. And if you're watching live, let me know too. Who here has finished or at least started that first training? Because I'm not trying to teach you more right now. I'm showing you the journey you're already in and on and why this works and how it works so you could do it too. So you had attract content wherever you found me. And then now you're in our community, you're going through the accelerate content. That's the first training that goes over the idea to income process. And then when you finish that, we unlock the part 2 for you. That's the second module in our classroom. It's called the idea to income prompt to profit. That's where we start showing you how to leverage simple prompts to implement the income framework with you and for you. And in that training, the activation piece of content, there's a part where we advertise an offer. Many of you guys have already raised your hand for that offer without me being live, without me messaging you or anything, right? So it's not about paid ads. When I say advertising, I mean, hey, I'm going to make you an invitation to join this program. For that sequence, it's our 90-day income accelerator. All right. And then once you're in the income accelerator, it's a 12-week program. Now it's about ascending. I'm going to send you towards results. I don't want to just work with you for 12 weeks. I want to work with you for years to come and help you keep knocking down your goals and the milestones that you're achieving. So when you build a content flow like this, set up for your own business, it's going to become a lot easier for you. All right. So hopefully this will make sense. If you're not quite there, hopefully this next framework will show you a little bit more. Framework number 3 that we're going to dive into deeply next week is going to be content freedom funnel. This is the system that sells without sales calls, cold DMs, or showing up every day. I've kind of started talking about this already. The content freedom funnel essentially is your community, because if all you're doing is posting content out on social media, what good is content out there if no one sees it or doesn't move into action? And what I've noticed is people that come into our community and they go through that first module and the second module, it really collapses that time of trusting one another and seeing if it's a good fit and then working together to achieve your goals. So if it doesn't move people to action, I don't think it's even worth doing. So this funnel will help you get people moving and seeing it and get them into action. So this funnel works without DMs and sales calls. It's built on one platform, one message with one customer journey. And this isn't about chasing people down to convince them to work with you. It's about building an environment that attracts them in and then carries them through. All right, so attract content. We talked about this. This is the content that's pinned on social media. You could create like just one or two really good pieces and pin them to Facebook, pin them to TikTok, pin them to Instagram. You guys see how that works, right? You make it your home video on YouTube. And when you do that the right way, you don't have to keep creating all those things. Maybe you get one message, you nail it, and you start running $5 a day towards a simple paid ad strategy and gets people into your community, into your freedom funnel, and they start paying you to work with you, your workshops, your offers. And now if that's profitable, you can take that to put it back into that same strategy, start growing it from $10 a day, $5 a day to 10, 20, 30 more. That's the attract piece of content. And then we have the accelerate content. Like I said, this is the content pinned in our community. It is the first lessons inside of our classroom. The goal is to accelerate the connection points of us knowing one another. And then the activation piece of content. This is the second training inside of our classroom. It's part 2. It's free, but we only give it to people that have taken action, gone through that first piece of content to accelerate those lessons in the classroom. And now in that activation piece, let me know who has seen the invitation to join. Uh, Put 90 days in the chat if you guys have seen that invitation to join the 90 days. Who here applied? Put I applied. Who here joined? Put I joined, right? And I'm so excited if you guys are in cohort number 2. This is our second founding member cohort, starts right after this event next week. So we're gearing up to bring you through all the process of implementing so we could run as soon as we start the kickoff call in those 90 days. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys, like, that's what this is about. And that Ascend piece of content is now the paid program where we can go further, where there's commitment on your end, there's commitment on my end, and we could focus on our customers and our paying members. And this is for you too. So when you have this in place, this takes some time to set up, but I know that we can show you how to build this out in literally 5 hours. And implementing and optimizing, that takes time, but it won't have to take you. It took me 18 months from when I started my community on school back in January of last year, 18 months. But because I go first and I want to learn the hard way, I want to shorten that gap. And you see us doing this in our community. I tried so many different things. And now you're seeing us remove 90% of the classroom because it was just all in the way of all of us moving forward to get the results. And simple is better. It's called minimum viable community, also known as your content freedom funnel. So one platform, one message, one community funnel. It's evergreen and it creates this sales environment without selling at all, because it's not about more content and more selling at all. This is about creating an environment that does the selling for you while you lead and create and teach and connect with others. And I don't know about you guys, but that's why I started my business. I wanted to meet more people, not just online, but come together all offline in person and do some really cool things together. So when you get out of all that stuff that's holding you back and you have this set up, that's what it's going to allow you to do. All right, so people don't want to be sold to. And I think you guys could agree who have gone through that process where it's you empowering yourself to make that decision to move forward, right? Sometimes we nudge you. Sure, Jeremy's in there, Theo's in there messaging you, especially if we see greatness in you and we see you doing the things. We're going to reach out and say, you're someone we would love to work with. And you can't ask them because they're not in our community anymore. But there's people that we literally have removed and said, you're not someone that we want to spend our time with. No offense, but it's, you know what I mean? Like you're going to attract some people, no matter how good your message is, they're going to find you. But we want to work with the best of the best, the people that come to these live trainings and take the time to watch the replays. And especially those of you moving forward into our workshops, I put a lot of energy and a passion into them because I truly love doing them. I miss doing them monthly like I used to. So you guys are in for a really good treat, those of you joining us next week. Um, but this is what's going to help create that feeling for your customers and your members that are going through it. And what I mean by that feeling is that feeling of them being empowered to make a decision to enroll themselves. All right, so quick recap. We went over three frameworks. I know we just scratched the surface of this. The content clarity method, how one simple message can outperform 100 content ideas. Number two, the ascension accelerator system, how to multiply one message into a content machine without burning out. And then lastly, the content freedom funnel, where it's the delivery system of this, the distribution, which this is a community, and how you can create that in a way that will enroll people without sales calls, cold DMs, or showing up every single day. You could see that I show up though, and it's because I love it. I spend at least a few minutes every day in my community saying hi to all of you guys. But that's what I want you to create. I want you to create something that you enjoy being a part of. So, quick question. Now that you guys understand what and why these frameworks are, hopefully you guys can see that as I move out of frame here. You can see the what and the why behind this. Who here is ready to implement this into your business? Raise a hand or drop a I'm in the chat in the pin post. I know a lot of you guys are already in. Now, this is more for the people watching the replay. Let's be honest. I think 90% of this room, you guys are already in with us. So thank you for your trust and support. But this is what we're really doing. I don't think I've mentioned this to a lot of you, but I'm inviting you to join me live to film my new course. We're going to be filming the content that converts workshop live, and the replays become a new product. So that product is going to be selling for $997 starting in July. Now, if you're in our 90-day income accelerator or you're a VIP, do not buy this. You already get this. Okay. I just want to make sure you guys are clear on that. If you aren't VIP, just upgrade so you don't have to buy this for 997 later. So for joining me live, because I'll be honest, you guys can probably see like how I run these events. Like if you've seen my recorded content, I'm not the best at like speaking to the screen. I need this. I need the audience here with me. So to thank you guys for being my live audience next week as I film these sessions live, number one, you get to be a part of it. You get to co-create this with me, and that's something special. But I know it's taking time out of your day to be there, even if you're watching the replays. But to thank you for helping me film this live and being a part of it, I want to give you a really special invitation today. Especially for those of you guys who have gone through the process of seeing our sales page for tickets recently. I think you're going to be in for a pleasant surprise today. Just to thank you for taking the time to be here tonight watching this replay. So this is about the Content Converts live workshop next week. This is my first live workshop in over 7 months. I'm super excited for it. These are all new frameworks. I started sharing just some of them with you today, and we're going to go deeper on those in addition to a few others next week. These frameworks and exercises, I believe, will take your business to the next level. And this is our 48th live multiple day or 5-day session workshop. And like I said, maybe I'm a little biased, but I do believe this is the best one yet. Every time I create a new one, I try to refine it and make it the best possible solution. And right now we're solving all the things we talked about earlier, like the content trap and doing the things like being a content creator and a salesperson when you didn't start your business to be either of those things. So this is the Content That Converts live workshop next week. Discover a new hands-off method that turns strangers into clients in days, not months. All right, so I say that I can't say this enough. I feel like I think it's so important. Who agrees though? Seriously, you didn't start your business to become a slave to content creation. And I want to help you create that one simple campaign that does the selling for you. In just 5 sessions together, you're going to have an automated content system that attracts, nurtures, and enrolls ideal clients for you so you don't have to anymore. And you're going to turn your movement message. We're going to help you write this out. You're going to get very clear on this on day one. And we're going to turn it into a rinse and repeat content machine that finally delivers consistent income without having to create consistent content. And if you guys are in our community creators club, you probably see that it's locked right now. I think it's set for like 497 or 297, which is the retail price. I'm going to show you a better option today, but this is what it looks like. If you're wondering if you're already enrolled, this is the course area. This is what it looks like. Right now, it's just placeholders because we haven't done any live training yet. That's going to start. We actually have a pop-up training on Sunday just for pregame, call it the kickoff call. And then we have 1 hour per day, Monday through Friday next week. And this is where you're going to find all the information. If you guys haven't done your introductions yet, by the way, go to this first one called pregame tasks and just comment on the introduction post. That's going to kick off the perfect score contest. We're giving away something really crazy for everyone that actually implements during this event, which is the point, right? The point is to not just watch and consume, but to actually implement the action steps each day. And if you go through this process, you'll be doing them in real time during the session. So you're not going to get this like additional work that you have to do outside of watching the trainings. You do it as we go using the workbook that we created for you. So anyway, that's the workshop area. But some of you guys just blind faith just went for it, right? You guys just signed up because like this is for me. I love this and I thank you. But there's some people that just want a little bit more clarity around what this is. So session one, we covered some of momentum, your movement message today. We're going to go even deeper into that. So if your content doesn't convert yet, this is what to do instead. We're going to talk about why content feels invisible. Like if you're posting and you're like, this is frustrating, no one's engaging, no one's doing the actions that I'm asking. We're going to go over the types of content to grow and sell on autopilot. The number of mistake creators make that kills return on investment. We're going to replace your content calendar with a simple system that does the selling for you. Session one, you're going to learn why consistent content is hurting you more than helping and how to get clear on that one message, which is your movement message. And then we're going to take that in day two, I'm going to show you how to implement the clarity process. So you're going to walk away with your movement message drawn up. Session number two is the content clarity method. This is where we're going to take that movement message and we're going to turn it into your scalable content system. This is what we kind of covered today, but we're going to go and actually do this in session two. And you're going to understand the framework on a deeper level. And you don't have to worry about staring at a blank page of like what kind of content to create. How do I create these lessons that you have done, right? All these things that you see me doing. You're going to have it all built out and mapped out. It's going to be one signature framework that gets to be repurposed into all those different, those 5 types of content I showed you earlier. The attract, accelerate, activate, advertise, and ascend content. So it's just going to simplify this. Session number 3 is the Ascension Accelerator system that we covered today. We're going to go and actually build out what your activation piece of content looks like, which honestly is the heart of it all, because it's where you make the invitation, which is the advertised part. It's where you invite people to ascend into your offer. And you use that presentation to actually create this accelerator content because it's like version 1, like the what and the why. And then you actually turn that into your attract content, like what you actually go speak about. So that's what we're going to do in session 3. So you're going to build your signature presentation out. We're going to get everything created during this event. You're going to leave with your core content engine that has a high leverage system that repurposes one message into your full content funnel. Okay. Day 4, now I'm going to show you what to do with that content once you have it created and outlined. And this is really the piece that shifts beliefs. It nurtures trust, which ultimately leads to people wanting to work with you. And the content freedom funnel is we're going to show you if you guys already have a community, how to think about this a little bit differently because it's not about more, it's less is more. And if you don't have a community yet, I'm going to show you some different workarounds. I would love you to be a community creator. I mean, if you're in our online community called Community Creators Club, and you don't want a community, I don't know why you're in it, to be honest, but maybe it's you're hoping that I will show you a different way and change your perception of, hey, this is a lot of work, or hey, now I have like this thing I got to do. Because I don't know, I don't think everyone wants a community. I do believe that people want the connection and the transformation and the results that come from having that. But the things that keep people back, there's like they look at it as work. And when you actually start to enjoy what you're doing, you're going to love it. And I know that this is not like, hey, let me make money right now thing. This is let me create this community that serves me for a lifetime. That's what this is about. All right. And then session five, we're going to tie it all together with what you really want most, which I'd imagine it's to attract the right people that enroll into your offers without you having to convince them. And I use the word convert. I don't like the word convert, to be honest. It's more about enrolling, which I think is evoking a dream in somebody and then just literally giving out your hand to pull them into that reality. That's what this is about. And some of you guys are already doing this, like you're successful in different areas. Now it's like you're extending the hand to help people in. That's really what this is all about. It's not about more information and things like that online. We just want to help people. So day five is how you can actually take this piece that we created and really evergreen it in a strategic way. So you're going to leave with a 7-day plan and a full business model that lets you your content community and offer work in harmony, creating consistent clients and cash flow. We're also going to dive into, if you guys don't have an offer yet, how everything that we're doing in this workshop will lead to you crafting an offer and knowing and being confident that you don't have to go and build this before you launch it. Look at this course we're filming next week. We're going to do it together. It's going to be 10 times better of a product because you get to co-create it. Like I have the outline, I have the vision, I know the result. How we get there is outlined, but some of those things are going to shift and change. And if I just went and recorded this, number one, it's not going to have the energy of the live. Number two, I'm going to create what I think people want. And now I'll know for sure what you want most and what you need most. So that's why I love doing these things live. And I would encourage you to think about your offer and doing it in a similar way. I'll go more into that on day five. Now, bonus number one, this isn't probably, some people like this, some people don't. I love workbooks. It helps me actually implement. And we're going to give you our Content That Converts workbook as a bonus for joining us in this workshop. These exercises are going to help you actually implement during the live sessions, complete your daily action tasks. And it's step by step, fill in the blank. I'm also going to give you some templates and resources and just really help you get clear on how to implement each day. Bonus number two is the Creator Confidence Code Masterclass. This was a training that I recently filmed that gives you 4 steps to knowing that you don't have to be the expert, because sometimes you guys are waiting to become the expert in your area and it's holding you back. And I think when you simplify this and just understand these 4 steps, you're going to be ready to lead. And like I say the word a lot, co-create with your people. And then there's different angles you could take where you don't have to be an expert, but people still want to be around you and buy your offers. Bonus number 3 is the replays. So some people ask me, well, Doug, why don't you give away access to the replays for buying a ticket to this event? And I'll just be completely honest. When we used to give away the replays, people don't show up. People will rely on those replays as a crutch and they never end up watching them. And like, oh, it drives me crazy because people aren't enrolling to this workshop to just watch another thing. I'd imagine you're here to implement, and I'm big on implementation and action steps. So for you guys, I want you to be there with us so we can create this product together. So that's why we're limiting it, and it should give you plenty of time. They're 1 hour per day. Um, if you did just one a day, you'll do it faster than 7 days. Some of you, if I gave these to you beyond the end of the week, it's going to become a crutch. That's why we only limit general admission to have 7 days access to the replays. So you could actually implement these things. Okay. So it's bonus number 3 of the 7 days access to the replays when you get a general ticket. Bonus number 4, by the way, this is something that I only share with clients in our highest level coaching program, the Audience Conversion Academy, but it's just one little piece of it. So I'm going to share my highest converting content templates, which are covering the track content, the accelerate content, the activate content, the advertise content, and the ascend content. So you guys will see exact templates and resources and scripts that will help you implement this for your business. So that's bonus number 4. And last but not least is the perfect score contest. Who here likes to have a little fun with, especially if we do workshops and events? Well, I like to reward the action takers who show up and implement, and you don't have to be live to be a part of the perfect score contest. But what we do ask is that you join the course area, you do your introduction under the kickoff call, and then you actually implement the simple daily action step each day. If you just do those things, one thing per day next week, I'm doing a Q3 planning workshop. I do this with my team just internally. We meet as a team and we do our quarterly planning. But we always invite our Audience Conversion Academy once a quarter to sit in as I debrief them on our quarterly plan to help them create their own. So what I do is we give out our goal and target planning document. We set up key performance indicators or metrics that they could track for the next quarter to hit their targets. We break it down to like not just like I want to make 100 grand this quarter, but like how do you break that down into what you're doing each month, each week, each day in very simple ways. And then we'll even share weekly and monthly meeting SOPs. These are our operating procedures of how we run our own weekly and monthly meetings to make sure we're going to be on target to hit our goals each quarter. Even if it's just you, run through this with yourself. That's what I did for the longest time before I built the team. And then also just some behind the scenes. So this is going to be scheduled for July. You guys will see on the calendar. You also get the replays if you can't attend live. But this is for anyone who finishes the perfect score contest next week. You do the action steps. We're going to gift this to you as a thank you. All right, so everything you're getting right now, I don't know if you guys can read this, but I'll just zoom in a little bit here. You're gonna get 5 sessions with me live to be a part of this. Session 1 is crafting your movement message. Session 2 is turn your message into a signature framework. 3 is our basically what we covered today, the accelerator. Session 4, the content freedom funnel, and session 5, content that converts. Bonus number 1 is the content that converts workbook, the Creator Confidence Code Masterclass, 7 days access to the replays, my highest converting content templates, and the perfect score contest. You get a free ticket to my client only Q3 planning event. Now, I'm not big on like adding up values and like, hey, this is worth $1 million, but I mean, very conservatively, like the things we're giving you, at least $2,000. Normal price on this is $297 for a ticket. You guys know that we're not selling them at the normal price, but they are going up every day. Who here has seen the funnel and you're like, wait, he was serious. He actually did increase it by $30 a day. And it's prevented you from moving forward, right? I've seen a few of you guys holding off on that. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad you did because today, to thank you for watching this training and being here with us live or watching the replay before it comes down in 48 hours, I'm going to take $150 off right now. So this is back to only $47, but this is today only. If you guys saw the sales page today, you saw that went up to, it was around $127 for a regular ticket. So I don't want to limit people to doing this. You guys can see, I use the urgency to get people to move because when people wait, they're going to miss out and they're going to stay stuck in these old things that they're doing that I know can be much better for them. So don't go to the funnel yet because I'm going to change it in real time with you guys right now. So you guys see that I'm serious about this. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to this page. You're going to enter your details, grab your ticket right now before I put this price back up. There's a clock on there that's real time. It's going back up. So if you're watching the replay, it might be too late. So hopefully you're watching this when I told you to watch it. But here, let me share my screen real quick. So I'm going to just show you guys where to go. Jeremy's going to drop a link in the chat. By the way, put it again in the pin post, in the chat, in the community. Who here is already in? Just put C2C ticket. And who here is VIP? Let me know who here is VIP. So I'm going to have to go in here real quick. I'm going to change the products. You guys get some behind the scenes of how we're doing this. What did I say? 47, right? Save and close. That should update it. So now if you guys go to the link that I shared with you. So this is the page. I just showed you guys this, so you don't need to really read it again, unless if you want to. So we got about 6 hours left. Don't put this off and then fall asleep and miss it. So what you're gonna do is go to myfulltimefreedom.com/C2C-live. Grab your ticket for next week. Once you're in, you're gonna see an email. That email is gonna unlock this course area for you. And what I want you to do is go over to the first lesson. There's no video there. Just there's 2 steps. Number 1 is let people know where you're from and what your main focus is right now. Even if you guys have already done this in the community, I ask you guys to introduce yourself a million times, but again, it's to put yourself out there and new people seeing it. And more people that go through this training in the future are going to see you and where you're from. And that's the best way to connect, in my opinion. And then if you want to, you can even share your number 1 question about creating content. What's holding you back? What would you love to learn in this event? So you'll just do that to introduce yourself. When you do that, you're activated for the perfect score contest. So that's a big step. All right. So do that. It'll take you like, enroll today. take 5 or 10 minutes today or tonight or first thing tomorrow to go through, just do that action task. Okay. But why now? I think I've kind of told you why, but the price is going to go back up after today's replay expires. So if you're watching the replay and it hasn't expired yet, make sure you're grabbing that at $47 and not paying. It's going to go up all the way up to the retail price we shared with you by Sunday. This is the only time I'm doing this live. I haven't done a live event in 7 months, even though I missed doing them. I just found a way that works better, in my opinion. But every now and then I like to create something new and update our frameworks, which is exactly what this course is going to be. This course is going to be sold for $997 starting in July. If you guys are getting it now, you don't have to pay the $997. You're going to get the live quarter 3 planning event bonus when you show up and implement next week. Even if you're not there live and you're just keeping up with the daily action steps and commenting on the pin post below each session, you're going to get that bonus. Every day you wait, the longer you're going to stay in the old ways. And I just I know that this is going to get out there. We're going to be putting a lot of effort into advertising and sharing this model. And I don't think we'll ever be too saturated, but wouldn't you rather be in and implementing this before other people start creating and copying and doing it, right? So I want to help you do this next week. And I would love to know what questions do you guys have, especially from those of you who are like, all right, I've seen the emails, I've seen the sales page. Now I saw it live. I would love to know like what's holding you back from implementing this. If it's time, like an hour a week next week, I get that. But you spent an hour with me here right now. And when you're in these sessions next week, the difference is you're going to be actually implementing. And I know I could shorten your time frame to that, but when you think about staying on the path of whatever it is you're doing, creating more content, trying to sell people, buying up all these other programs and things like that that you don't even feel aligned to, but it just they sound good, that's going to waste. I'm not even talking hours. We're talking like weeks, months, years for some people, forever for some people. When I know that if you resonate with any of this today for a simple $47 while it's still at that price point, come join us. If you hate it by the end of the 5 days, please email me, DM Jeremy. You'll be in conversation with Theo and Jeremy all week long. We don't want the $47. That's just for you to be committed to actually doing. We used to do these free all the time and just people don't take it seriously. So if you hate it, $47 goes back to you. We won't ask you a question about that. All right. So that's my offer to you. And if you guys have any questions, do me a favor, especially those of you watching the replay. What question do you have? Take a moment. I know I've been go, go, go. Pause for a moment and drop it in the pin post right now. What's one question you have, like right now? Or maybe a question about enrolling, or a question if you already did enroll that you have for me, or questions for next week, because it's going to help me, again, make even better trainings for you. I've already built my slides out, but when I see your questions, I'm like, huh, did I address that on session 2? No, I need to add that in there. So I love your questions and just, again, appreciate all of you being a part of this. If there is something holding you back, reach out to my brother or Theo, Jeremy Boughton on school, or Theo. He's our community support. They both have messaged most of you guys if you're watching this, I'm sure. They do a great job at welcoming people to our community, finding out what your needs are, and seeing if we could support you in any way. So just ask them, hey, I have a question about this, and this is what I'm stuck on about enrolling, and we would love to help you make that decision together. Sandra, great question. Will this be about using school like I do and having all other social media funnel into school? That's one way to do it. But I also want you to understand, like, did I share my slides today? How I went on to start a community, got to 2,000 members in 2 months, and then paid off my student loan debt in 6 months. It's the same stuff. I didn't call it what I call it today, but this stuff that we teach is timeless, and you could apply to any platform. So for me back then, the school wasn't even around. I was using a Facebook group. So absolutely, you can apply what we do today to a Facebook group. You could do Mighty Networks. There's a ton of these platforms. By the way, if that just validates anything, it's that the communities are really the future. I feel like they've always been a big part of what I do and why I do it. But I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but there's stuff on Instagram. I can't tell what's real. And even with communities, there's people that let these bots slip in. We're pretty good about protecting our community from that. But the way to really only know if things are actually real are like these interactions, like doing live stuff inside of a community. So I think that's why all these major platforms have decided that they're going to add a community aspect to their platforms. You'll see more of them coming up. But if you could just understand high level of what we're talking about in these frameworks, you can apply them to tools beyond school. Why I love school is because they keep it simple. If you're on school, you understand. I'm not going to convince you to be a school lover, but just know that, yeah, you could definitely apply all these things to Facebook groups or any other platform that you're using. Very cool. Great question. All right. I think I've covered all the major things that might hold people back, time and money and all of that, right? Like I said, we'll give it back to you if it's that big of a concern and you don't get anything, no value from this event, which I just would find hard to believe, but we won't question it. We'll just say, here you go, have it back. But anyway, I don't see other questions here. So what I'll do is if you are watching the replay, below this video, there's a button. That's the pin post. Drop your questions there. Reach out to our team, Jeremy and Theo. Happy to support you with whatever you guys need. Will this replay be available? The replays to the event will be, yes, you'll have the replays for next week's trainings inside of the classroom. It says content that converts, and you'll see right now it's just pictures for day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those pictures will be replaced with the replays until that Sunday. If you go VIP, we're going to give you guys lifetime access to that product, this course. Plus, like, take time to read the page. There's things I've never done before that we're putting into this because I love VIP. I don't know. We just get to spend more quality time together and diving in deeper. All right. Jeremy said it's good to go. $47 took a minute or two to update. Cool. Um, Now it says I have a few days to watch the replays, but Doug said it would be a course we will all have in July. Angela, yeah, could you clarify that a little bit more? So if you guys missed it, general ticket holders, you guys get 7 days access to the replays of next week's event. I went on a tangent earlier about why that is, but basically, people that rely on the replays, and it's usually the general admission people, end up using it as a crutch and they don't implement, they don't do the things. And I don't want to just create something else for people to maybe watch someday. But when you go VIP, I give you the replays and you could keep access to that because I believe the VIPs actually implement. We're actually going to be having implementation sessions an hour more each day doing the work. So you'll do this during general, but we're actually going to dive in and get my eyes on what you're building and giving you real live feedback on your movement message, on your content processes, your freedom funnel, all the frameworks. So that's why it's a little bit more limited. But because you're doing the work, I give you guys the replays. So just to pause here and be clear, when you buy a general ticket for $47, you have until the end of that week, up until Sunday, to watch the replays. I don't want you waiting till Sunday to watch the replays. I want you to watch the replay, implement the action step, get the perfect score contest and win that so we could bring you to our Q3 planning event. It's going to be a powerful event, even if you're already scaling or even if you're all like brand new to that and that doesn't make sense to you. It's going to be a powerful session for you guys. So anyway, that's how it works. VIPs get lifetime access to those replays. In how to upgrade. Yeah, so on the second page, pause for a moment and then read the text information. We increased the VIP up into, what was it today? 197. We dropped it down by half. Okay, by half. And again, once this replay expires, we're going back up on general and back up on VIP. So definitely act now while you can. And it's going to be well worth it. Not only just for the replays, but there's, I think, 3 or 4 other really big bonuses we're giving you, including a $500 credit to work with us in the future. Because I don't want to stop here. I don't want to stop at 5 days. We're going to do a lot of cool things. But there's always a next level. There's always a new problem to solve. So when you go through this workshop for 5 days, you're going to get really clear on these structures. But then what? What's the next big problem that comes up? I believe it's like enrolling consistent customers and clients, and what does like great fulfillment look like? And we cover a lot of that in our 90 days and our audience conversion academy. So it's just like going to that next level of growth with our customers that are seeing results in this. Yeah, replay of this call right now. Yes, I'm going to process. It's going to take about an hour to process. I'm going to email it out to the people that registered. And again, I swear it's like people think I'm like this urgent, like crazy marketer. I just do it because it works. And if I gave you like a week to watch this recording, you're going to miss the event um, completely and maybe never even watch it and get the opportunity to enroll. So we're going to put a limit. I don't know if it's 24 hours or 40 hours yet. It's probably going to be 20, I think 24 hours to find 1 hour to watch this recording. I think it's more than fair, especially because we weren't even going to do any of this. So yeah, I'll send it out in about an hour. Come back and watch the replay. If you guys want the replay beyond that and you bought a ticket, I could give it to you guys, but we're just scratching the surface of what we're actually doing in the workshop next week. So I don't think you need this replay. You're just going to implement these on a deeper level during the actual 5 sessions next week. All right, cool. Some of you guys need some support. Jeremy's going to reach out. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Thanks for taking time out of, for some of you, your late evening. Some of you guys stay up super late, like early in the morning to be here. I appreciate you guys, and that's why I try to give as much as I can because I don't take it lightly when you trust me with your time and your energy. I know it could be spent in many other places, but hopefully you see that's an investment. And my main focus is helping you get a return on that. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, and I will see you guys inside of the workshop. And I'll see you guys for 30 minutes on Sunday for the kickoff call. And if you can't be there live, we'll have a replay. It's just kind of like to get you pumped up for the week ahead. Make sure you guys did your introductions and things like that. So yeah, let's hang out. We're gonna be spending a lot of good time together between now and next week. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, morning, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, take care, everybody.